Make the best decision of your life for being live today and feeding your brain with this podcast.
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Let's get it live right now. Steakhouse Studio. Here we go.
All right.
Let us go.
Take it and go. Take it and go. Shout out. Shout out. Shout it out. Shout it out to all those guys who are listening. Give me the list. Where's the fucking list? Let me see.
Right there, man.
There we go. See. Who are we shouting out today?
Same spot last week.
Corey Harpin, #1 listener.
Corey, we love you.
Evan, you too, man. They've been fighting each other.
Don't fight.
Don't fight, you bastards.
Don't fight.
Don't do it. Nacho.
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 Where are you, Nacho?
Isaac. You know my bus listen to this?
Your bus?
My bus.
The bus? Like the wheels on the bus go
Mi
right
jefe,
around?
mi jefe.
Oh, your boss.
My boss. Been listening to this.
Oh, snap.
Jenny,
Jefe.
quit listening to this. I'm going to get in trouble. And then...
You better get promoted.
I'm about to get promoted to customer. That's what they used to say in Verizon.
Promoted to customer.
You keep fucking around, you're going to get promoted to customer. And Randy, he's got that podcast.
Randy.
He's gonna come. He said, but he didn't want to come because he's trying to keep it clean during the week. You know,
oh, yeah,
he
sure.
came out here. Yeah, he's gonna get dirty, real dirty. He's gonna get nasty.
I can respect that.
So nasty. Aventura. Mami, dime, tú sabías. Thank you guys.
Woo!
This program is sponsored by Alpaca Chicken. If you want chicken and then you want it to be delicious and you want it to be nutritious and you want it to be just fucking good, you go to Alpaca, baby.
AlpacaChicken.com for details.
AlpacaChicken.com, baby. AlpacaChicken. You like it, okay? AlpacaChicken.com. You take it.
ALPACA. AlpacaChicken.com.
Take it, chicken. And if you want to get your house remodeled, okay? If you want a new house, okay? Let's say you have a house, okay?
Right, got a house.
You
Check.
build it from there, okay? You need a new patio.
I need a new bathroom.
You need a new bathroom.
I want to update my kitchen.
Say you want a toilet.
I want to increase the value of my home by upgrading my master bathroom and my kitchen. Where do I go?
You know where to go. Where do you go, Liz? Forget the name.
You tell me, man, where you go.
It's New Homes or something. I forget. Sorry.
Go on, man.
Huh?
Nation Homes.
Nation Homes.
Nation
Homes. Look him up. He's in the area. He'll help you out.
Not
He'll
sure.
go in there. He'll put a bidet and limp your culito. No problem.
Game changer.
#1. Game changer, baby. And if you want to buy some clothes on eBay, BlueBetsyBoutique.com. Okay,
I'm looking
baby?
for clothing.
Look, clothing. Beautiful clothing.
What kind of clothing you got?
All kinds.
All kinds.
Say you want a scarf. You got
Stop
it.
looking.
Say you want some Oakley sunglasses. Say you want a thong because you're going to the beach and you want to look sexy, so sexy, on the beach. I mean, I'm just saying.
You gotta look sexy.
You know, it's going to be great.
You want to enhance that body
anyway,
with some thongs.
On that note, you know where to go.
Where do we go?
On that note, let's play that music and let's get this started.
Vámonos, nos fuimos. Steakhouse Studios, let us go.
So I had a report on the bidet.
Oh, the bidet. What's the update? Cold water
So good.
in January.
Martin was
water.
working.
Talk to me.
No idea. If you are living today in 2020 and you're still wiping your asshole
With Charmin.
with some dry piece of paper, when you can, dude, I'm just telling you. All right, this is a fucking game.
So Martin was at work and Stacy was like, Martin, guess what got here? Martin was like, all excited. He was like, I can't wait to get home.
Dude, all right, so it was a pain in the ass to install for me, but
But then you got it washed.
Let me talk about the positives, and then I'll tell you what happened that was negative. But the positive is you don't know what to expect because you install this thing and you're getting ready to switch flip the switch. You're getting ready. You're sitting in the toilet. You just took you did your business.
Did your business
number two, and you're feeling kind
of dirty,
kind of skeptical. Like, what's gonna happen? Is this really gonna work? What is this, right? And the handles is to your right. So you have two turning things. One of them is if you want to switch it to self-cleaning because it cleans itself. Major technology here. The other one's, you switch it to normal, and then there's like
it cleans you.
like a strength. So you flip it to the right, and it starts at low, and you can like switch it up to high, and the pressure changes. There's a way to hook up hot water. I'm not fucking with that. I'm done. Cold water is fine. Honestly, I'm telling you, your asshole can't tell the difference. At least my asshole can't tell the difference, whether it's cold or warm. You're sitting there, you don't know what to expect. You flip it off, and it feels exactly like it just feels like someone's spraying your butthole with water, but it is very satisfying, very much satisfying. It feels like it's getting cleaned. It feels like you can, kind of adjust yourself so it hits the right spot,
the right angles,
and you are getting a thorough cleaning to the point that I feel like, I kid you not, there might have been shit still inside of me that it got out. I am serious. It was great. If you're living in the 21st century in 2020 and you're not doing this,
if you don't have a bidet at home,
and you don't have a bidet for $40
on eBay
on
Amazon,
you're fucking up. I'm telling you, it is worth it. It's a game changer. There's no reason not to do it. Then you just pat yourself a little bit. Perfectly clean. It's like you're taking a shower every time you took a shit.
So you're not really cleaning because you're just rinsing off with water. You're not really cleaning.
Yeah, but it's a direct stream. It's cleaning it. It's getting it off.
I'm over here on eBay, man. Tell me which one to get, man.
What level of pressure did you use?
I start on low, and then when I feel comfortable, I just crank it wide up. Mine looks a little bit like that one. But go to Amazon.
Did you? I don't have an Amazon account. I just
go to Amazon.com.
Amazon.com.
I'm already have the set up the account already.
Well, I mean, if you're telling me which one I got, I don't know the name, so let me look it up. But
did you ever go to max pressure?
I have gone to max pressure.
How was that?
I was tempted to keep it at max pressure for a long time, but
for a long time,
I don't want to be judged like people that maybe sit outside the bathroom, and then they say, "Why is the water running so?" Well, there's no point in that one because the one.
Well, you grab it. And
so what he's showing me right now is a hose that you actually have to stick in between your legs and spray. This is good. This is good, but this is better, bro.
Why? It's stationary.
It comes from inside the toilet, bro. All right, so I'm now understanding that people may not be.
For the listeners, they want to visualize it.
You might not be able to.
What model is this? What model is this?
So I look it up. Is it called? I don't care.
Look it up over there.
I gotta look up my Amazon account.
Anybody
but I want you guys to.
I want the World Wide Web.
I want you to paint a picture. Okay. So this thing has been installed. So through the back of the toilet bowl.
I'll find it. Back of
the other Amazon. On the back of the toilet bowl, there is a little hidden, beautiful nozzle that comes out, and from inside shoots water on an angle directly
from inside the toilet.
From inside the toilet, it shoots water indirectly into your booty hole, and it's just good. It is really good, and it's not invasive. You don't even know it's there. There's a little bit of a nozzle here. Find it here. I've a little bit of a nozzle on the right, a little bit of a switch. That's the one. It looks a lot like that. That's it. And well, it's only one piece on mine, dude. Here's one.
So
thing
you're telling me if I spend $40, I don't have to buy any more toilet paper?
You're gonna need some toilet paper to dry yourself, and just to finish the business. But I'm talking about minimum toilet paper. Like, and here's the thing: even if you had to use the same amount of toilet paper, okay,
unless you get a towel, but
it's
you might
gonna be so much better, dude. It's so much. It's an experience. It's an experience. It makes you feel like you are living in the future. It is just great.
This presentation will provide you with simple step-by-step instructions for installing the Lux Bidet cold and hot water models.
Let's see what it is.
Our products should fit most standard toilets. But please check this chart in the product description to make sure your toilet can accommodate a Lux Bidet.
Luxurious.
The tools you'll need are a straight slot screwdriver.
Easy.
And an adjustable wrench.
Easy.
Your bidet kit will include the bidet itself.
Right. I didn't get the warm water.
Okay.
Here's what I will say. Here's my review on the installation process. It's very easy. Okay.
Because you wouldn't consider yourself a handy individual.
I had a weird situation because here's the thing. Coincidentally, I had just broken my toilet seat. I was taking a doo-doo, and I leaned on it and it cracked. Coincidentally.
Your toilet seat cracked?
My toilet seat cracked. Right? Never happened to me in my life. Just, I don't want to talk about it. It happened.
That's what happened.
So I ordered this thing, so I had to get a new toilet seat. And I'm sitting at Home Depot, and I'm like, there's all this toilet seats. And there's no... And I'm like, oh, you know what? I want to get this nicer toilet seat. Because this one has the metal framing, or not even... It's still a white toilet seat, but on the hinges is metal. And I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be so much better, right? Well, because of this design, it's a lot harder to install the bidet because it's intended for a normal toilet seat. So now I made my job a lot harder. So I'm over here spending about an hour and a half just installing the toilet seat. Almost lost my mind. So I finally get to that point. I put the toilet seat. So now I got to hook up the hoses. Very simple procedure. You just hook up the hoses. Turn the water off, hook up the hoses. Of course, my water would not shut off all the way. So there was a leak. Like, even though if I shut off the thing, it wouldn't shut off all the way. And then it wouldn't connect to... The connection to the toilet wasn't right. So anyways, I had a couple of things that went wrong. It took me a long time. A fight with my wife. And I had to get a new piece for the toilet. But it was totally worth it.
So online, I don't actually see it coming out. I just see... The controls, but I don't see it actually coming out.
You don't see the stream?
No.
Well, I don't know if there is a visual of the stream, but I can tell you from personal experience, there is a stream that comes out. Are you doubting that the stream comes out?
No, I'm just trying to imagine this.
It comes. So the installation comes from the back, you say, of the toilet seat, or from the front?
The back.
The back. Okay.
So it always shoots right into your dude. I'm telling you, it's good. Last podcast we said, come back with a full review.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad you brought some feedback.
I am giving it a 5-star review.
Wow.
I'm giving it a
5-star review.
Why would you not fucking do this to your life? It might be a bit of if you're not super handy in the installation process, it could get complicated.
What if you use more than one toilet at home? What if sometimes you go downstairs?
I would get it for every toilet. I'm gonna get it for every toilet eventually, I think.
Wow.
I mean, right now I got it for one toilet,
And you're satisfied.
The one on
the
master bedroom?
You know what's interesting, man? The aggressive rejection to this idea. Why? I have people telling me, well, first off, my wife won't use it.
She will not use it.
She will not even use it.
Why?
She has not gotten to use it once. I don't know why.
She hasn't experienced
it. It's very, very aggressive. I have people at work tell me, well, you better wipe your ass too, right? I'm like, what? Yeah, I'm wiping my ass, but like,
people don't like change.
You're telling me that's exactly it right there.
But people have been doing this in Europe for ages,
bro. But why would a piece of dry cloth or white paper smearing shit on your rear end would be better than that? Here's the analogy I like to use: if I have a boat, right, and it's dirty, it's got mud all over the boat. I'm not going to grab a piece of dry anything and start
tissue
rubbing
paper
and just try to clean it up. Does that make any sense? No, I'm going to spray it with a hose.
Hose that thing down.
And it's going to be more effective. This is exactly my point. I feel like I'm trying to make a point of like people riding horses, and here's the automobile. And people are like, nah, man, I'm not trying to do that. That's weird. Like, where's the horse?
So I can just imagine yourself. You don't have to spray your butt cheeks like for the water to go there. You grab your sides.
You're already squatted down anyway.
Let's just say if you're already ready for one.
See, this comes down.
Well, that's the self cleaning. So that's what I was telling you. If you want to, so you switch that one and it just sprays itself, so it cleans itself. If you want to just wipe it out, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how that would be doo-doo all the way back there. That seems like an impossible angle, but it has a self-cleaning nozzle. But the other one, when you switch it, it just sprays it up.
So we went to Rome, and there is the bathroom. There's a toilet. So you got your shower, your sink. You got your toilet, And then next to your toilet, you got this shorter toilet with another thing that sprays out.
Same idea.
And it was a completely separate toilet.
Right.
That's what I thought was pretty interesting.
That was
Yeah,
the
that's
original
what-
bidet. Yeah, but this
In
is,
Argentina, that's like on my house, like on my parents' house,
That's
we
how-
had the toilet, the bidet, and then the shower.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
that was very common.
Or
very
the
separate.
toilet. No, you have the.
Because
what
you
was that,
wipe
the
your
sink?
ass with the toilet,
Yeah.
with the bidet.
You did what? So
That's-
you take
you're like, take a doo-doo, and I
and
never
then you
used.
move over to the next
move
one.
over and just
and
walk.
clean up.
Yeah.
You didn't do it in Rome when you were in Rome. You didn't try it.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I did. I don't know about we. I did.
You didn't ask.
It was interesting. It was different. It was completely different.
But
But it wasn't something bad. It wasn't something that I was like, I'm against, or I felt. I mean, it was just.
but you don't think it's like a much better experience, like life changing experience, like.
I do, but I mean, at that point, every time I was there, I would just hop in the shower. It was like for whatever reason, I'd take a drop of
Well,
deuce
that's
and
the-
hop in the shower.
that's the-
Instead of going to the bidet, I didn't really have to go to the bidet to.
But do you use a bidet?
Yeah,
I actually never used one of those bidets that are separate. Like
Yeah.
it was the idea that you hover over it or something.
yeah. It was kind of like
You don't sit.
you kind of hover over it. So that's why I was like, is this just for girls? Is this for guys?
Feels right.
I mean,
It doesn't feel right. It feels right.
this is right. If this is right, I don't want to be wrong.
I'm just saying, dude. Why not? Why not?
No, I don't.
What, you don't have $40? What, you don't want to install it? Dude, is just I don't understand. Like, I don't understand people that are just don't even want, like, or they find it like it's not going to be
Offensive.
as clean. I don't understand this aggressive like rejection of this idea because you're so used to wiping yourself with a little piece of paper.
But it's not like just you just throw some water there and just walk out. Like you
No,
end
this
up
is coming
you
at
end
a-
up checking with a piece of paper at the end.
Bro, this is you don't understand. This is
There's
like this is like a power wash for your ass. Like, it's not just like rinsing it a little bit. It's really getting it. It's really getting the crevices. Okay. I mean, I'm saying you're clean, bro. You're clean.
Yeah. No.
You might be cleaner than
It's
like,
just that
you might be clean inside of yourself. I felt like if you do it right and you get the right angle, you're giving yourself a bit of an enema almost.
Wow.
it's just that
Wow.
when people is not used to something,
It's
they're-
changed. It's different.
it's different. So they're like, I don't know. But then they start seeing a lot of people using it, and then they like the wipes. You know?
Exactly.
Like
So
at the beginning.
here's an example of a bidet that was in Europe. There you got the toilet, and then you got the bidet next to it.
Yep.
Yeah, I seen those.
Just
In
like-
Colombia,
You see?
they had them too, yeah. But so my grandma had that in her house, right? And I never knew how to use it. It didn't make
So
sense. Because it comes down. Look at that one. Look
Right,
at-
it's lower, right? And
so
kinda
what are
gotta
you supposed
squat
to do there? It's not shooting up in the air, is it?
That one is like a sink on
It's like
a
a
toilet
sink on
side.
a toilet, right?
Yeah.
It's like a sink over
So
a
how
toilet.
do you do it?
No,
I guess you
right
sit
there,
there
you,
and
you open the water and then you use your hands to wipe out.
Oh, so
on
you
that
just
one.
kind of hover.
Or you squat over it and you hover over it and let it get in there. So when you go to Italy, you drink a lot of.
This is
Okay,
better.
This is the guy was saying this. He's have to use it a day. So when you go to Italy, you drink a lot of coffee, and when you poop, first of all, the flusher is way up here.
Yeah,
And
that's
you can
what we
turn
do
it
have
on
it in
for a
Argentina,
second
man.
turn. Turn it off right away. Okay, this is a little bit. Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, it's a more effective way.
You wait, but then you come into this, which is not a drinking fountain or a place to wash your face. You
thought it
sit
was-
backwards and you reach around behind you and you turn on the water and you turn on the water
Ah.
ahead of time. We get a nice and warm, and always next to this there is some soap and a place to dry your bottle. You wash, get your bike very clean, and you dry off your butt. And usually there's a place next to it to hang dry things,
Ew.
which is clean. Everybody has their own.
Ew.
Oh.
All right, so that's a novel
and
idea.
that's how to use a bidet for Americans. That's what it was saying.
That's a novel idea, and you know the Europeans obviously are ahead of the Americans in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm telling you guys is taking that to a next level and not having to get up. Okay, you don't have to get up. That's it. That's the one.
That's it. Okay,
And it
this
shoots.
is what I was looking for.
That's how
This is what I was looking for.
you can't really test it out without sitting on it because it shoots out of the toilet. It works, bro. That's the motto.
That's it.
For the listeners, there's a guy that put a cup over it so that he could activate it. So he's got a cup over it and he's shooting the stream and he's testing the power of the stream with his machine, and it's good. I mean, it just works great, dude.
He got
he's watching a coffee cup.
Nice.
This man is watching a coffee cup.
Oh gosh, he says peanut sauce was used for demonstrational purposes only.
So he's put peanut sauce inside of a coffee mug, and then
there you go. Hold on a second. Some of the health benefits. Okay, so he's saying
here's
right
science.
here. Some of the health benefits. First, better hygiene, personal hygiene, and clean. Think of it like washing your dirty car. You get much better clean if you hose it down with water compared to just wiping down your dirty car with towels. You greatly reduce the impact you have on the environment. I'm using about 75% less toilet paper and no more expensive wet wipes. Americans use close to 8 million tons of toilet paper each year, and forests are being destroyed to keep up with this demand by wiping your poop chute.
Bro, just think about it. This guy is using a coffee mug, smearing peanut butter all over it. And you try to wipe it. He's trying to wipe it with a piece of paper, and it's not really coming off. But then you use the stream, and it comes right off, dude. It's amazing.
It says
fucking amazing.
It actually helps prevent urinary tract infections.
Well, because you're cleaning it better. Dude, I cannot believe
one of the best investments I've ever made, and I can't imagine being with that one. I admit convincing to my girlfriend to actually use it. But now after a week of using it, she loves it.
I can't get my wife to do it, but I couldn't get my wife to use the toothbrush to brush her teeth very fast either. She's just against technology. But I think that I cannot believe that I'm having to like even defend this thing. You know, like if you don't like it, that's you. I don't know why. It doesn't make sense. Out. It's like I don't like to. I don't know. So you wear shoes or I don't know. It just makes a lot of sense. Try it out. There might be better ones out there, but this one for $30 is going to change your life.
Wow.
It was a pain in the ass to install it. I didn't have a good time, but I feel like I had a particular situation. It's not supposed to be that hard to install. It's not supposed
How long did it take? How long?
It took me about 2 hours. I lost my fucking mind. I was sweating. I was pissed. And I had to actually get to a point in which it was late enough I was like, I have to restart tomorrow. I have to reset my... And I had to go to bed and come back the next day and then finish it. It was bad. But I had a couple of weird situations, so
not common.
I figured it out. Yeah, I mean, I shouldn't... I ended up changing my toilet seat and the float inside of the toilet.
The what?
The float, you know, I don't know, have you ever taken...
On the back?
You ever take
on the tank. Okay, yeah.
The tank, the thing.
Right,
so,
yeah. Oh, okay.
To give you the long story, 2 years ago, our float went bad. I asked my wife to go buy a new float. I told her to go to Home Depot. She went to Walmart and bought the all technology, like the really bad one. Our toilets are smaller, it was the one that is
big red one.
Yeah, the one that floats.
Yeah.
So that is on the right. So I remember that experience because it also took me longer than I needed to take because I couldn't fit it into the toilet seat. So I remember that. But then when I went to hook up the bidet, the whatever took it was that, and it was old and it wasn't compatible. And I was trying to make it work. After I fought with the seat for an hour, now I'm fighting with this for another hour, and I'm losing my mind. I'm hurting my fingers, dude. I'm just like, I fucking hit my head, and I was like, I'm done with this shit. And then the next morning, I have to hear this whole thing how I have to make everything more difficult. That we're dropping $100 on the toilet, and this is ridiculous. Blah blah blah. This and that. So I fucking go to Home Depot, get the new thing, get it together. Even after all that, it was worth it. This is not a commercial. I'm not endorsed.
Are you sponsored by Lux Bidet?
This program is not sponsored.
Shout out to Lux Bidet.
Lux Bidet, reach out, baby. If you know, holla at your boy one time.
Smart stupid stuff.
We got you. We'll sponsor you. But that's my review. I'll stop on the rant. I'm just saying, try it out, baby.
I just ordered one on eBay for $35.
Nice.
Wow.
So
live.
Steak Studios. If you ever come over here,
Dude,
you're gonna have a nice
experience
bidet.
you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Just, if you need installation instructions. I know you have your remodeling business, but I'm sort of an expert at this right now. Nah, you probably install
It's okay. Jose will come and
You install it in 2 seconds.
Yeah, he will.
But it's definitely a life changer. So, what do you guys think of the Chinese virus? Have you heard of that?
I have not.
What's that?
No.
Gives you diarrhea like for 3 days? Is that what you're talking about?
No, apparently they found a new strain of China of a virus that is they don't know where it's coming from, but it's really bad.
What kind of virus is this?
It's just, I don't know. I was hoping you guys would know more about it than I do, but this is not good. There's a Chinese epidemic, and is not good. And apparently, we know less than the government from China is saying, but it's worse than it's supposed to be. But it's coming from an animal.
And it's called the...
What is it called? But yeah, it's not good for sure. People are getting sick. People are dying.
People are dying?
Yeah. Oh, let's see here. The coronavirus spread from China. You guys have, what were you guys living under a rock? What are you doing?
You're working, man. Not talking shit with your coworkers.
No, I heard this on the radio on the way to work.
I don't know. I heard a virus was going on over here in the U.S. saying that some people were getting it, and you get like I said, diarrhea like for a couple of days.
No, this is not made it to the U.S. More than 500 people are known to have and been infected. At least 17 have died.
Damn.
And the world is bracing itself from what it might come next.
What in the world?
And this is less than a week ago.
So what it causes? It causes what?
It causes...
go up. I think it was on the top. Illness were reported. Respiratory illness. So you can't breathe, bro.
All right, flu-like virus.
But it says that it came...
Wow.
You know what's weird to me? That it came from an animal. And I never made that connection. Because you don't really get your... You never get your dog sick... Or your dog never ever really gets you sick, so you don't really... I don't know. I never really made the connection, but apparently you can. And this comes from some sort of animal.
Well, I don't like those people, I don't know, their dogs are licking their butthole, and then they're giving kisses to the people, and then they're like, I don't know, man, some transmission might be passed right there.
Did I feel bad? But, I mean, I don't think you can get anything from that, but...
No?
I don't know, but I don't think you can.
And then people complain about, like, you're not using wipes to wipe your ass, man.
I know, they're so worried about me wiping my ass with a stream of water, but then you go kiss your dog in the mouth.
Exactly.
Chinese city epicenter of coronavirus outbreak put on
Wuhan?
lockdown.
Is it Wuhan? The city of Wuhan?
Yeah. Wuhan. The city that sent a mysterious virus sweeping through China and beyond has put on lockdown as authorities battle to contain this fast-moving outbreak.
Oh, you got it, bro.
From 10 a.m. Thursday, Beijing time, Wuhan, a city of 11 million people, will be in effective quarantine with air, bus, ferry, and rail terminals all closed in a bid to prevent people leaving the city and potentially spreading the disease even further around the country. The outbreak of novel coronavirus, which first emerged in the central Chinese city in December, has affected at least 571 people and killed 17. The announcement of the lockdown came as the World Health Organization pulled back from declaring the situation a global health emergency.
Bro, we're all dying, bro.
Well, you know what I was telling Laura?
Scary,
I said, how crazy would it be with all this whole... All right, they say, like, because of, like, global warming, that this season has been worse than usual. If you've noticed, a lot of people at work have been sick, or you may have been sick for weeks and just kind of on and off, and it just not going away. But I was telling Laura, I said, what if, like, another flu-like virus or, like, almost like a plague comes around and just starts wiping people out?
Yeah, that can happen anytime.
That could happen anytime. That could happen right now, and that's one of the effects that global warming or not. But I'm just saying, what if something like that happened? I mean, by the time they catch up to it, I mean, it could be like a plague. We could losing hundreds and thousands of people.
Yeah, remember like Ebola was going on, that they were very like how the way they were treating it.
The
like,
what?
Ebola.
Oh,
Ebola.
Well, Ebola in Spanish, I guess.
Ebola.
Yeah, I never heard of that. I mean, I've heard of Ebola, but I don't remember a time in which it was like. I remember the avian flu or the the bird flu.
Right.
But it's just one of those things that, I mean, we all have seen the zombie stories, and that's supposed to take. I mean, you know what happened with the AIDS epidemics,
right?
And that, you know, that's kind of crazy shit, because you could argue that shit was administered by the government, bro.
I mean, that's kind of one of those conspiracy theories, right?
Yeah,
but
you know,
that's
what they say when you see those lines on the sky. They say like they throw stuff in the air.
No, but I'm thinking like, you know, it was specifically geared towards homosexuals and the minorities blacks, right, and the blacks at the time. And
what is it, like population control or something?
But then everybody could catch it, and it was almost like I mean, if you look at it from a perspective, like if I'm a rich white male and I'm thinking this is how I'm gonna get rid of the homosexuals, right?
Yeah,
and that's what he thinks it is, right? And I mean, just
smart idea.
Just imagine it, right? So he thinks it's a smart idea, right? And then it all of a sudden, like your son or somebody in your community gets it, so like it backfired. Yeah. Like, oh wow, it's not that easy, is it? You know, like you can just wipe it out. You're not that pure, and I feel like that's what happened. I mean, you could argue that's what happened. Like they're trying to fix it. Like I'm gonna like, you know,
it seems like nowadays. I mean, I don't know. I mean, just AIDS is not as common, or is not so much in the news. I don't know if
they figure out how to
control
it. They can pretty much cure it now.
Treat it, not cure it.
Well, I think there was actually a case which someone was cured from AIDS.
AIDS, okay.
Yeah, but it used to be.
There's a pill right now. Like you can drink it. Like
what?
You take a pill. You take a pill,
uh-huh,
and it would help you. Like it will help you not to get AIDS if you have sex.
To prevent for you to have. You just take that pill.
Well, I just think that. Well, I know that right now people are living with AIDS, and it's not a death sentence anymore.
Yeah,
and it used to be a death sentence. It used to be
guaranteed. You're done. You're done. Your life is over.
But you know, there's something new coming out, right? And I wonder, bro, like if there's people out there that are, because overpopulation is a thing, right? Mm-hmm. There's only so many resources.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there's people fucked up enough to like say, you know, we need to control this.
I'm sure there is. There's people that are saying that, and there are also people saying that.
But in government, or we're like enough power to like administer a virus and just be like, all right, we release this, we play along, we're gonna say that it was this, and you know,
gays, or it came from something else. I mean, that's with AIDS. With AIDS,
don't do
it was all homosexual, right?
Right.
Remember, like
we need
people thought, oh, it's only for homosexuals or getting AIDS.
Yeah, but like it's almost like a bad.
Like, how could I have AIDS? I'm not gay.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, really.
Like, dude, I was listening to Eddie Murphy's Delirious back in the day, and he said that.
Yeah.
I was like,
I mean, that was the idea.
They like back in the 70s, it was just like only gays get it. Like,
and that's so like clever for the government or whoever put this together. If that's the case, I mean, it's great. All right,
people would
deter people from being gay. They got them because they're gay. They're doing something they shouldn't be doing, and look what happened to them.
It was just inconvenient when it spread to other people,
right?
That they didn't think. But you know, this is a hypothesis,
sure.
but it makes you think it could be possible.
Well, I think that's why people are trying to go to other, people are trying to go to other planets, right? Or they're trying to go to Mars, and they want to go and build somewhere on Mars because, like you said, there's only so much that one planet can maintain.
Well, it's scary to think that someone's making that someone could potentially be, or a group of people can be potentially making these decisions of like, you know what, we're calculating resources, we're calculating the amount of people, we need to wipe out a lot of people, and having the power to actually make it happen. We're like, you know what we could get rid of is this. Let's just, and then to be that much of a hoax where like pretending to be an accident. You know, there's people that claim that 9/11 was something like that.
Exactly.
And that how fucked up is that? You know, like somebody making, you know what, we need to wipe out X amount of people based, and then it's gonna boost the economy, or like making some sort of like crazy rational decision.
That's the world we live in, man. I mean,
but you think that
they're
you
sacrificing?
think that could happen?
Oh, absolutely. I think they're sacrificing few for the many.
So you don't.
They're sacrificing few for the many. That's
Would
the
you
idea
would
behind
you
it.
want to know? Would you want to know?
Well, they say that if the people knew everything that's going on behind the scenes, it'll be all chaos. Like all hell would break loose. Like people wouldn't be able to grasp the idea. So like citizens are almost like cattle on the farm. They're just doing their thing. They're eating, grazing. They're living their life. They're staying busy, preoccupied with debt and credit cards and their jobs and their dreams and aspirations, and they don't get to realize, they don't see what's really happening in the big picture.
Right.
Right. And they don't know all the things that are behind the scenes. If the government released all that information, it would be chaos. You know, so I think to a point they cannot release that. But so much information.
Well, and also the difference in governments, like what if, for example, the Chinese government right now is releasing this virus to control population in the world? Well, they
Maybe
do it
in their country.
They're doing it in their country, but it's going to be globally.
It could be a global impact with the amount of.
For a second, how comfortable or how good you felt when you thought maybe this is just in China? For a second there, I was like, "Oh yeah,
oh yeah." I mean, you think you're safe. This is in China.
On the other side.
I don't want to be sick.
Yeah, you're safe. You're
China.
Now, what if it was your own city, your own town, your own street, right down the road? You're saying, "Oh shit! Close the doors, close the windows, turn off the AC." Don't.
Honestly, I probably moved to like
let's use the chimney,
Alaska, or like an uninhabited place or some shit like that.
I mean, naturally, that's what you should think as a person. You're trying to survive, and you want your family to survive. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, that's just naturally instincts.
But you think
surviving?
Survival, yeah. I mean, if they say the disease is right down the road from your house, your next door neighbor.
But you have a house and you have a mortgage and you can't just leave.
Okay, you need to live. You need to survive. So you say, well, what's more important for me, to stay in my house and pay that mortgage, or to leave, continue working, but I'm not going to sleep in that house until this shit settles down? I'm still going to pay my mortgage, but I need to survive.
One of the things, like we're talking,
you go stay at your mom's house, you stay at grandma's house, you're staying at a cousin's house, you stay at a friend's house.
Yeah, but how are you going to pay for your house if you're not making any money anymore?
You still go to work. I'm just trying to say, you may not be staying in the house. You might not sleep in the house. No, but
you might have to, like, if, let's say it's in North Carolina, boss.
If it's on the state.
I'm down. I'm out, dude. I'm out.
Work remotely.
I'm out.
Yeah, that's what we said. But I think when the situation happens, like, oh, it's nothing. You know, it happened to a couple people. Like, you don't think it's gonna hit you.
Well, and then they'll sell it to you that way too. Like, it's okay. You know, only 5 died.
And the other things you're talking about is like controlling world population. It's like only 17 people have died. I don't want to say like, oh, it's nothing, but I know they were very important people. But at the same time, it's that there were not a lot of people that died.
You know what? That's true, man. How many fucking people die from a common cold a year?
Yeah.
Probably more than fucking 17 people.
Definitely more.
What are we talking about? Some dude that was already really weak? This is fucking yellow journalism.
No. If you're talking about controlling world population, like there's definitely going to be a nuclear weapons going on.
Say that. I'm knocking on wood.
That's no wood. That's not even real wood, to tell you the truth, man.
Compressed.
Laminate. It seems like it is. Could have fooled me.
That is gonna probably control world population. Like a war would control world population. That I don't think so. It needs to be controlled though. Like I think we can we can grow it and we will have enough for everybody.
I think that is
like if people like the high companies stop being so greedy and keeping it so much, yes. But there won't be enough for everybody, because right now there's enough money and enough stuff for everybody to have more than enough. Well, like if you go to the mall, how many like clothes and stores and store of clothes, and you go anywhere, warehouses of clothes, people don't have any money to buy clothes. but there is a bunch of clothes.
A surplus of store.
So yeah, if you got a remodel, you have man, there's stores and stores and stores and stores of supplies.
I think it's like the food. You know, like the amount of food.
The amount of food we throw here in the U.S. is 50%.
I mean,
50% is getting wasted.
No, so there's like for example, there was a statistic about India. There's way more people in India, but they can feed more people with less.
You got like 1 billion.
But
also, everybody in India is not looking for a 12-ounce ribeye steak.
Right. So but what I'm saying is,
they're cannibals. There.
What we're trying to say is that if we want to live the way we live and we continue to increase the population, it's not going to. It doesn't add up eventually. Eventually, it gets to a point that like we can just continue to increase, right?
Yeah, but it got to the point where they populate. Like it was done by the CIA. I don't know who did this, but they were saying the population was gonna like kind of stop because you heard about the baby boomers, whoever was born in the 50s, 60s,
right.
30s. They were having like 4 or 5 kids each. Right now, there's a bunch of gay couples. They can't even have kids.
Well, no, I have heard that there is a decrease in how many people, and it's not. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think that's good.
Like stopping like the growth.
Yeah, like.
No, the amount of kids. I mean, a gay couple can have
adopt.
They can adopt, or they can have the what's it called?
Surrogate mother.
Yeah, surrogate. Yeah, or and I think the amount of kids that people are having is not that's like it used to be.
Yeah,
like your parents may have had.
Man, my parents have 6 kids.
6 kids, but your grandparents may have had 12 kids.
Exactly.
Right? So it's like half and half, and I mean.
And right now, everybody thinking about like 2 people getting together to have 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Right. So let's say
am seriously
you and your
struggling
wife.
If I need another one,
you need another one.
I don't know. I mixed feelings. Like we did not plan the one.
Okay.
But we are.
Hopefully, she never listens to this show.
No, but it wasn't a bad thing. We are so happy that it happened. But like we would have kept on thinking we want to be in this.
We're not ready yet.
Yeah, exactly. We want to be in this perfect financial state. Like we wanted a kid eventually, but we always want to be in this perfect financial situation that it almost never happens.
Right.
And then this happened, and it was very scary. Like first thing, like just like full of anxiety or whatever. But then right now, I'm so happy that she's here, dude. Like it's amazing. Like I'm so glad, right?
Yeah, I mean, of course.
But it's not even that. Like I'm trying to like, dude. Like people tell you this before you have a kid, and it doesn't really resonate. It's almost one of those things that is
it
cliche.
Sounds so cliche.
But you literally don't love anything else. Think of something you really love right now.
Times 10.
Like your dog. Say you have a dog and you love your dog. And dude, the love for your dog is so pure, and you really would fucking cry or die for your dog. It's not the same.
It's nothing.
It is something different.
Nothing.
It sounds bad.
It
sounds unbelievable.
It's like it's almost like something that you cry
just
out of joy, out of like pure joy. Like you're so happy about that moment, about that child, about that person, that you cry out of joy, and it's so weird. Mm-hmm. It's like why you never had that feeling for anybody else. For anybody else, I don't care how.
But you love your wife,
right, it's different. It's a whole nother level,
and I'm sure it's a chemical thing. It also changed my perspective of children in general. Like, I watch if there's a video on YouTube and a kid was through a bombing in Syria and is being dusted off, dude, I break into tears.
Big time.
Well, before this. I mean, I obviously never assumed. I was like, that's fucked up. But like, dude, like right now, I'm seriously upset.
Yeah.
Like I did something fundamentally change in my perspective from that, and it was time. And it's crazy because you see your baby there, and it's just unacceptable. Like this is not right. Like you wanna. It's just it's weird and hard to describe, and it didn't happen right away when she was born, and for me, she was just kind of like there. And as she started like
developing,
and love her, as my daughter or whatever. I thought I was gonna break into tears when she was born because I'm a very emotional person, but I was very emotional. But I was like, she's here, and I almost remember thinking like, what's wrong with me or something, right? But as she became more of a human, and she
connects with
she connects, and she has expressions, and you've taken care of her, like, and she like smiles. Or does other does like
she recognizes you?
Fucking
did she call you? Would she call you daddy yet?
She's saying daddy, but I'm not. It's interesting because I don't know if she actually means what she's saying.
What's funny is like when they're crying at night, it's like okay, okay. You put your earphone, whatever. You get out. But when they say daddy
Help
or
me.
papa, dada, I was like, oh
fuck.
shit, that's me. They're not talking to anybody else in the world but me. Like she's calling dada.
I need
like,
to be there.
Dada, like that's me. Like
I
shit.
gotta go.
I gotta go.
I gotta be there for her. I gotta be there for her.
I gotta go. Dada.
I feel like that.
Yeah.
I haven't. She hasn't. But like when she cries, I feel like I just have this like weird feeling that I don't want her to feel like I'm abandoning her.
Right, no, but
like I don't want her to feel like
the whole like parenting thing is a whole like another topic, but like there's so much different parenting, and is now like okay, the cry out method, and you're letting them build independence, but then there's like also in the back of your mind and also in your heart, you're like, man, this isn't right. Why do I need to make them cry it out? The child is crying for their parent.
it's a natural.
That's
reaction.
my offspring. Like, it's a natural. They're crying for me. They need shelter. They need love. They need support from me, not just to you need to let them build their independence. So that something doesn't seem right about that.
I always try to look at it as a natural perspective, right? Like, I'm a huge believer that the way that our bodies are designed are mostly for when we used to be nomads and live in the woods and whatever. And yeah, like the baby was, if you think about that lifestyle, people living in the woods or like traveling constantly, the baby was born and it was never away from the parents. It was attached to the mother because there was not another room, there was not a structure, whatever. And we lived our lives longer that way than this way,
right?
Like by thousands of years. So it's a natural mechanism, right? But at the same time, there was not always food available, and there was not always things. The breastfeeding was there as long as the mom was alive. The milk would produce, but I don't know. I mean, like we let her cry, and then she's happy, she's okay. She knows she's well taken care of. But the cry method itself doesn't say don't come back.
No, it's very structured. I mean,
It's like
the way
let her cry for 5
5
minutes.
minutes, come back 10 minutes, come back.
So, like,
15
Did that
minutes.
happen to you? It's like maybe something wrong for real. Like maybe.
I mean,
It does. It fucks with your head big time.
Yeah, I mean, especially the younger they are, the even more. But if they've already eaten and they got a clean diaper, they're not sick, and they don't have a fever, then they're okay.
Well, think about it. If you're a human back in the day, and that was happening, there was nothing you can do. You just cry until they got whatever.
Yeah, and they say that like crying is a way of, and that's the thing that it fucks with your head so much. Like you read so much different things, you're not sure what to do, and then one person tells you one thing, what's another. Your heart tells you one thing, but that day you're like a different mood. What's going on with work that affects your the behavior as well and your stress level. But if they're crying, it's for a reason. But they say crying is a way of soothing, a way of self-soothing. So if they're crying their way to sleep. It's not that they're crying because they're in pain or that they miss you so much. It's just crying. It's natural, and they're self-soothing, and then they end up falling asleep because they have to learn how to put themselves to sleep. So,
and there's different types of.
Oh, you have to learn how to put them to sleep because sometimes
they have to learn how to put themselves to sleep.
You have to be consistent and disciplined as a parent. It seems like. And
which that's the hardest part.
That's the hardest
it's
part.
like training a dog, and if people have trained dogs and have had dogs before that are well behaved, you grasp the idea a little bit better. Because sometimes, if you know and you have a good well behaved dog or pet, and you see somebody else who doesn't, you can normally tell, and it's probably the pet owners.
Yeah,
it's not the dog; it's the owner. So sometimes it's the parent, not the child.
It's a crazy comparison, but it's true.
But
it's
and then also, but
consistency and reward and just being a little bit tough, but not necessarily too tough.
Right. And also the dog, you're the hard work. You're the master to the dog. But for the child, you're not the master to the child. Yes, you are the parent, you're the guardian, you're the leader, but you also have to show empathy and grace and courtesy to your child too.
Well, here's the thing with dogs, it's a matter of, are you willing to put the work, right? Because I feel like a lot of people get a dog and don't understand they have to walk it. Like, depending on the dog, they have to walk it and then be consistent and whatever. But with a kid is not only the same, but now you're sleep deprived, and now you just a lot of the times it's been so tough that you just kind of want to sit down for a bit, and it's easier to just be like, just give her what she's crying for, just or just like I'll hold her and she'll fall asleep, and I'll get an hour or something, while like now she's used to you holding her. And she's only going to fall asleep if you hold her. So it's like you have to be really consistent and then be willing to like work under lack of sleep, which, dude,
the thing is how fucked up how important sleep is and what sleep deprivation will do to the human mind.
Insane, dude.
It's not and that's what it goes back to. It takes a village to raise a child. And the problem is, like you said, back in the day, we were nomads and we're living in tribes and we're living in groups and villages, very different than right now. It's only the mother and the father and the one or two children. Right? That is not fair. It's not normal.
It's not normal.
It's not normal. It's not the way it should be. And the parent and the child are going through different stresses that I don't think are normal, and I don't think it's fair.
Bro, and it's not only being tired because so before I had a kid, I was like, you know what? I'll go to sleep at 2 a.m. I wake up at 6, no problem. I'll drink. I fucking stop playing video games. I go out and I party and I get up at 1, no problem. It's not the same because it's not like I'm staying up to this time.
One on the weekends.
No, it's not okay, let's say every day. It's not the same because now it's interrupted sleep. You might go to sleep at 8 p.m. You went to sleep at 8, but you woke up at 10 and you woke up at 12 and you woke up at 1, and it's just like it's a fucking torturous. It's like some waterboarding shit, bro.
It really is,
dude.
man.
I remember holding my baby and just like almost like stumping the ground and like tears in my eyes, like what in the fuck am I doing? What the fuck? Like, and there's like nothing you can do. You like you can't fall asleep with her because it's recommended you can't. Like, she can't, so you can't hold her and fall asleep. So if you're holding her and she's asleep, you have to be awake. It's like some sick fucking joke, right?
It's a sick joke.
And you're like, it's dark in the room, right? And you're holding her, and as soon as you put her down, she's dead asleep. As soon as you put her, she wakes up. No, without like you. And then you've tried it 3 times, and you're about to try the 5th time, and you're like, if she wakes up, I'm not gonna be able to do it, bro.
Let me ask you this though: does in the back of your mind, do you ever think I have to be up in the morning?
I don't even think.
Or like this is the time, and I have to be up at X amount of time.
What do you mean, like the next day?
All right, it's 3:45 in the morning. I have to be up at 6 to shower and get ready. And
you're like going back to school. Right. I remember playing video games till 3 a.m. You're like, crap, I gotta wake up in 2 hours to go to school.
The difference that
thankfully, dude, like I was lucky enough that Stacy is always there, and the times that it happened to me, it was on the weekend or a time that I was helping her. Thank God, dude. For those
that adds a lot.
Those couples that are out there that have to work the next day, both of you guys, fuck, dude.
I think that just adds to stress. It doesn't go back to natural way of living, right? That naturally you had to be up at this time to do this certain work and get ready for work. I mean, it's.
But at the beginning, it's way harder. I don't have a kid, so I don't know. Because you have to, like, every 2 hours or every 3 hours, you got to drink the meal.
Here's one thing I didn't know. That they eat so often. And not only that, but the doctor tells you, and I don't think this was true in past generations, but the doctor tells you, if you don't feed her every 4 hours, she could go into a caloric deficit and there could be serious problems. So now you're worried about every 4 hours. So now, even if she's sleeping, you're worried about waking her up.
Oh, yeah,
so,
you have to wake her
so
up.
like, my daughter went to sleep at 7, and I would put her to sleep. Dude, I came up with so many things. I feel myself very lucky. I like to play video games, so I would put her at 7 o'clock. She slept to me next to the computer on this bassinet, and I would play from 7 to midnight. And at midnight, I would wake her up and feed her, and then she would go back to sleep. And then we got her on that routine early on. So 7 o'clock, we would get her to sleep, and
You got in a routine to play video games.
well, and for me, it was great. But I was playing in the weirdest way. Like, I would sometimes not move or breathe, and I was just like completely just doing this. But like that was because if I wasn't playing video games, there's no fucking way I can stay awake till midnight.
Yeah.
If I'm not doing that, I fall asleep within 30 minutes. So that would work. Like I had that hobby that would keep me up till midnight, and I would put her to sleep.
Right.
But one day it just switched, dude. But yeah, that I didn't know. I didn't know that they had to be fed every 4 hours. That is a mind fuck. And when they tell you that it's up to 6 months, like you say, oh, it gets better. But it's until 6 months that they can eat less. You're like, and it's been a month and it's felt like a fucking eternity. You're like, 6 fucking months? Fuck
You know
this,
what's crazy
dude.
is when the
It gets-
kids are colicky.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't know if Nella was like that. But like they're colicky, like they got like acid reflux or something going on. Like they're crying constantly. They don't know what to do. And it's a loud pitch crying. I mean, it's a constant,
Bro,
dude. It's
fucks with
dude,
your head.
the most patient person, okay, is like wants to shake that baby.
Yeah.
And that's why they emphasize do not shake the baby.
Dude.
And I remember, dude, I felt so bad for Laura. I wake up at 11 o'clock. I turn to the side. She's breastfeeding the baby. She's like up and down trying to feed the baby. It's like colicky. Doesn't want to eat. Doesn't want. Okay, I go back. 1 o'clock. She's doing the same thing. Go to 3 o'clock. Come back and fall asleep. 5 o'clock. Same thing, dude. I was like, oh my gosh. And then at one point, she's like changing them. She's like crying. She's literally crying. And she's like, I'm so, like, she's shaking. Like, she wants to shake the baby. I was like, oh, babe, you're doing the best you can. Like, it's normal. Like,
yeah.
Wow.
You just slept 6 hours. That's why you're saying that.
Dude,
I
if
was
you
like,
don't sleep...
And I was like, oh my gosh, dude. Like, I was like, I mean, just me waking up was a lot just to wake up, to look at her and go back to sleep. So imagine, like, her struggling with the baby.
Bro, fucks with your head. Dude, I didn't know. So on top of the every 4 hours feeding, the breastfeeding is... So before Nella was born, I was adamant about breastfeeding. Stacy's mom or sister did not breastfeed. I listened to a lot of progressive Joe Rogan podcasts. So I was like, breastfeeding is the way to go. Like all natural. Not knowing shit about breastfeeding, right? And here's what I say. If you're thinking about it, just know what you're getting yourself into. Because it's also a consistent thing, dude. You have to... The boob is a very temperamental thing. You have to pump it or do something every 4 hours or it stops producing it. And it becomes a whole other thing. And the baby doesn't just lash on the thing either.
So
there's a technique to it, bro.
Oh,
There's a thing away and it hurts her and she's already sleep deprived and now she's hurting and it's just it's a whole another fucking story where you just like... After I was after a while I was like, maybe we shouldn't breastfeed. Maybe we should move to this. Maybe we should pump.
It was tough, yeah, but it was...
And like the pumping, like we didn't start pumping originally because Stacey's like, I want to do it like this, and then like the minute, because the doctor said if you pump, blah blah blah, that she might not latch on.
Apparently, the saliva. This how crazy it is. Like the saliva from the baby's mouth when it touches the breast and the nipple. Like, it produces more milk. Like, somehow the female body knows to produce more milk because the saliva from the child is calling for this milk.
Yep.
And it's releasing more milk and it's producing more milk in the background. So
there's been said, like, men, they have, you have titties, you can actually produce milk.
I've never heard that.
No,
Never heard of that
you
one.
never?
Well, you tried or something?
No, I haven't tried it. I just
No.
heard of it.
Really?
How crazy is
Because
that?
we do have nipples. Like, what are your nipples
That's true.
for?
Why
Well,
would you
what-
have
what would you
nipples?
have
Yeah, why
nipples
would you
for?
have nipples? That's
They
true.
found out so genetically we're the same canvas,
Hmm.
and then there's either chromosomes that get activated or inactivated, and that's
But why would a man need nipples?
No, because it's the same. I mean, I'm talking out of my ass, but I'm pretty sure that what it is like when we are being produced and made, we're produced as a. So like the testes either become testicles. It's actually gonads. Did you know that? I just learned this the other day on the internet. The technical term for before they become either testicles or ovaries is gonads.
Hmm.
So your gonads either developed into testicles or ovaries based on the signals that are sent by your hormones and things like that. So that's why we have nipples, or that's why I think we have nipples, but it wouldn't go along with the Bible definition. Sorry.
What do you mean with the Bible?
I don't know. I'm
definition?
just please don't hurt me.
Anyways, yeah,
But I
I know that when Laura was breastfeeding, it was a constant breastfeeding, and then it was a pumping thing.
It's a task.
And then it was a pumping, and the thing is, you have to commit to the pumping.
Oh yeah,
so it was like
she's
every
getting
few
up
hours of pumping. I would go downstairs, she's pumping, or I'll turn over, she's not in the bed. Where is she? I see a light downstairs, she's pumping in the kitchen, just just pumping, dude. But the freezer was full of milk.
So Elias has pulled up something on YouTube.
Mm.
Yes, in theory, a man can breastfeed. Males breast have milk ducts, and some mammary tissue. There has been reports of men who are able to produce milk throughout extensive breast and nipple stimulation, but no one knows whether the milk was of the same composition of quality of the kind of a woman produced.
Mm.
So I guess
that's what you were saying. Is like when the baby saliva gonna touch the nipple and it start like
right.
So extensive. No, what is it?
Stimulation.
Extreme stimulation.
So the stimulation is what the baby does to the nipple
right.
to the woman. Okay.
Yeah, because that's the
to the mom.
Because
yeah, but it comes out.
For example, they stimulate it. Okay, and then the mother's producing that milk, and when the female pumps, she puts a pump to her breast. And it pumps. It's a machine that's pumping milk.
Hey, does it pump?
And it's releasing that milk. But that pumping won't last forever. Versus, like, if the baby is breastfeeding, it will be years.
Yeah.
But pump will dry out because it doesn't have that stimulation from the saliva. How crazy is that?
Yeah, no, and not only that, but it's just some crazy shit like the antibodies from, like, the mom, like, it knows, like, how much the baby needs exactly, and it knows if it needs more of this or that, and if the baby is sick. I tell you a story that I think for sure had to do with breast milk. Nella had the chicken pox very early in life. She was like 3 months. Her grandparents came over, and grandpa had shingles, but he wasn't. That's why we had to like backtrack to it. Actually, we went to a beer festival when she got the first thing, and then Stacey ended up calling all of our friends and asking them if they have herpes, because the doctor said it could potentially be herpes or something like that, and like so we're like paranoid as fuck, like something could happen. But can you imagine getting a text saying, "Hey, Rambir, did you happen to have herpes? You were hanging out with my baby this weekend." I told Stacey, first of all,
how do you find out?
No one's gonna say
first
yes.
of all, everybody's gonna lie.
You that.
Yeah, everyone's gonna be like, "No, you fucking no." Yeah, I know. But anyways.
But then it will be on.
She had the things come up, but no fever, and it was like not really a big thing for her. Like, and I think it had to do with the fact that she was breastfeeding, because all the antibodies from state, I don't know, but like nothing, it was like the easiest thing ever. Like I was freaking the fuck out.
So it was chickenpox.
Chickenpox, yeah.
Wow.
She got chickenpox super early. Like we finally got the results back, and it was chickenpox. She didn't even get vaccinated for it because she got it.
Wow.
But like, dude, she was like 3 months, 2 months old. It was crazy.
She's about to be a year, right? I got invited to the party.
She'll be a year in February.
Yeah,
party, baby. Party
on Facebook, man.
On social media.
Dude, there's gonna be
It's gonna be
mad
bro. It's gonna be
bitches.
wow.
There's
Snap.
gonna be some
Las Coronas.
Jack Daniels, Coronas, everything, baby.
Dude, I
gonna
remember
be a
Laura's
piñata.
breastfeeding, man, and we opened the freezer.
Uh,
Dude, it was so much milk in that freezer. It was. Golly.
You got one after another one, right? Was the age different on your kid?
2 years.
2
2
years?
years, but with May, I mean, she just produced milk. Bro.
she did way
milk,
more than
milk,
Stacy
milk,
because
milk,
Stacy
milk.
didn't have that much.
I don't know.
I don't know how that
Like,
works.
are they still? How old are they? Like,
No,
2 years.
they're one's 2 and one's 4. Neither one of them are breastfed anymore. I mean,
I think I
Technically
was
you
breastfed
can,
till I was 5. I think
Get
my
the
mom
fuck
said.
out. Are you serious?
Something
No
like
way.
that.
No
Because
way,
then,
dude.
then my
Mason
mom had
is-
but the baby,
Bro,
my
Mason's
sister,
4
and I was
years
still
old.
doing it.
Mason's 4 years old, and this kid is like this tall. There's no way
I
you were
guess,
5 years
yeah,
old.
probably.
And
People would do it. People would do it. I think it's the natural way to do it. There's this
up to what age? That's the thing.
bro. It just depends. So again, going back to that, like there's this guy that lives in the in Alaska, and he went and lived in the fucking woods, and he was telling the story. And he's actually in that Life Below Zero, Chris Villanueva, where he was on the Joe Rogan podcast, but he was telling about how he had a wife out there, and he had 5 kids. And then he's telling stories about like, oh, this one winter we there was no caribou, and there was nothing, and we were like, I was kind of starving, and I had my wife there
So
and
you
a
drank their milk.
baby, and Joe Rogan was like, the baby was there, and he was like, oh, the baby was fine, the baby was breastfeeding, it was me and the wife that were starving. So you see what I'm saying? Like the body of the as long as the woman's alive and somewhat healthy, the baby's taken care of.
Right.
And they can drink milk till like they're like, I don't know, but nowadays it's weird if you're like 3.
Man, they say we only use like what, like 10% of our mind. Like no, don't
Right.
even 10%, like 5-7%. Imagine if you can understand your body, how your body understands your body, and you can understand it with your brain. And whenever like a virus is coming up to you, your body just know what to do and how to
attack
react. Just because you know where to put your mind at, you know, or where to control.
I think there's people that think they can do that, dude. Like with the meditation and the breathing and shit. I'm gonna fucking get the sickness out of me. Antibiotics, baby.
I don't know.
The body's an amazing thing. I mean, that would be awesome.
I don't know.
Because you know how like they say like sometimes your body fights the bad and the good. It doesn't know differentiate like from killing the bad cells and the
Well,
good
that's
cells.
the antibiotics, actually.
Right. So the antibiotics.
Yeah, when you hit antibiotics, is great because it kills the disease and the infection, but it kills a lot of your good shit too. You're nuking your body.
Mm-hmm.
So you just put in the substance on, and it kills. I mean, it's great. Like it's killing all the shit that we used to not be able to kill that would kill us. But at the same time,
Killing the
it's
good
destroying a lot of the good bacteria. It's like
I don't know. When I get a headache or I get very sick, my mom just cooks me something like, I don't know, un caldo de pollo. I don't know,
Wow,
like
must
something
be
very
nice.
strong, like una sopa and things like that.
okay, good.
And
And it
I
goes
feel
away.
like I can. I don't know. I never got like a very strong virus where I got like fever and
Dude,
things
the other
like that
day,
that I needed.
I don't know what happened. It was Sunday, and it was so quick. I remember I had cash that day. I don't really carry cash. I had cash that day. I remember went to church. I had cash in my hand at some point. I remember we went to a Mexican restaurant, and I was struggling. I was so hungry, and I don't think I washed my hands. And I was eating chips and salsa, chips and cheese dip, and I was like starving. So I was like eating these chips like it was my meal, right? The meal came. I wasn't super hungry. Like, only ate like a little bit of my food. I was like, oh, I'm probably full from the chips. So we go to the grocery store, and I was like, babe, I'm not feeling good. I'm just going to wait in the car. You take the kids in. I'm going to wait in the car. I wasn't feeling good. I kind of like was dozing off. Took like a quick little nap. She came back, and we were going to go to the ranch. We are going to go hang out for the day, Sunday. I was like, I'm not feeling good. I don't know if I can do it with dealing with the kids, and I just can't. I'm not feeling good. Dude, by the time we're figuring out what's happening, like where are we going to go, I was shivering. I was literally shaking. I couldn't help it. I couldn't help the shaking. I felt so nauseous. I was like, I had to get out of the car. I thought I was going to throw up right there on the grass. Felt so nauseous. I was like, all right. She said she's going to go to the ranch with a cousin of mine and the kids. Okay, great. I was like, thank God they're going to go to the ranch. I'm just going to go chill. Went to my cousin's house. As soon as I got to his house, went to his bathroom and threw up. Felt great. I was like, man, dude, I don't know what happened, but I feel so much better. Hung out for a little while, started watching the movie. At the end of the movie, after 2 hours later, again, the shakes, shaking. I felt so cold, and then I was feeling hot, cold and hot. And I've never really had like body pains, but dude, like I felt like I was just so weak, like just so weak. I said, I gotta go, man. I gotta get home. I got home, and I was like literally shaking. You don't know. You put your clothes on. You take your blankets off. You take your hot and cold, dude. It was miserable.
I had that happen to me before.
When like within the next day, I was good, but I was like, thank God, like, wow, like you're just so grateful that you feel normal.
Yeah.
You're so grateful, like, wow, thank you for letting me experience that. Now this is just normal, and I took it for granted. Like, wow, just to be pain free. And I don't know if it was food poisoning. I don't know if it was because I was handling dirty money and I was eating these not chips. I don't know if it was a restaurant. I don't know what it was, but it hit me hard, dude. Like,
dude, I've been there so many times in some similar situations, and the next day I feel better. But the worst is when I'm hungover like that.
Oh, hungover, dude. I can't even drink. Like, hungover is like.
I feel like I get hangovers worse than the average. I don't know. Like when I'm really bad, like I feel like I can't get up. I can't sit down. I'm like,
dude, the pain.
It feels like I'm gonna die.
The headache pain. Yeah. No. It's like I'm actually considering suicide.
Dude,
no. I'm serious. Like, I think it would be better just to be away, dude. Just like this is not.
And like you get mad about.
No, I can't get mad. I'm just. I obviously I regret it, but it's just like this is not right.
No, I was in New York and we went golfing in the morning. I drank all day. Well, we had like a couple beers golfing, and then we got to the place and I ordered IPAs. And I went and fucking bumfuck New York, and there's a bunch of.
That's the problem.
No, but it was like that old like. I don't think anybody ever ordered IPA there, man. I'm thinking it was an old IPA, but I drank like 4 IPAs, and then I was feeling tipsy. We went to my brother-in-law's house, and then he decided like let's shoot a gun. Under the we're playing video games, and he has a gun, and he lives in they live in the country. So we grab a gun and we go outside. And I didn't know how I've only shot a gun once before in my life, and I was like, yeah, dude, totally.
That's how accidents happen.
I know. We could have fucking shot each other in the fucking dick, but I we didn't. Thankfully, knock on wood. Don't do this. I don't recommend doing this. But I shot the gun without ear protection, and bro. I didn't.
What kind of gun was it?
It didn't register. I don't know. It was a pistol of some kind. Okay. And it was so fucking loud. And my dumbass, I'm really kind of drunk.
You're drunk at the time.
I'm drunk, and there is a barn right here, and my dumbass is thinking, "Oh, my ears hurt because this. You know how you throw
the sound echoed.
You know how you throw a bunch of bottles into a garbage can, and it just makes the noise and it hurts your ears." If you worked in a restaurant and you've done this before, you go dump all the bottles of wine or something, and then you realize it's just the angle. Like if you move your head in a different way, if you don't stick your head in the fucking thing, it doesn't hurt your ears. But I was like, so I just went pa, and I was like, oh fuck, and I was like, that's because I'm too close to the barn, so I move a little to the left and do it again, pa, and it fucking hurts just as much, and I just pa. The whole thing happens. And now I'm like starting to this is still early in the day at this point. It's only like 3:00, and like now I have to go have dinner with the whole family.
Pull out the Bud Lights.
We go to a fucking Mexican restaurant. That's why it made me think of it. And I am sick as fuck, dude. And I don't know what it is. I get like super like hungover. But I'm thinking at this point, this might be a stomach virus, dude. And then there's a bonfire because they threw a bonfire for us because we were there. One of the neighbors, bro.
It's a long day.
You were enjoying it, huh?
This is not I don't know whose house this was, but I blew up that bathroom, and there was no bidet. And I was so embarrassed. It's just like, dude, like why? And then you get sick, and I'm like literally crying. And my wife has no sympathy for me when I'm hungover. Like, she thinks that I did it to myself. She doesn't understand. And I'm like literally crying, like, please fucking help me. Like, help me, please help me. I don't feel good. So do something nice. And I'm getting up and I'm at and then you always have this clear thought of like, I'll never
do this again. Never.
I never. This is the most stupid thing I ever done.
Poison in my body. This is what I deserved. What did you expect with all this poison? I'm feeding myself.
I know.
If I would have drank water, I would have been fine. But I drank this poison.
I just fucking. I'm killing myself. And then you do it again and again and again.
No. The hangovers are the worst. I really just can't drink anymore like that.
You want another glass of wine?
A glass of wine, a couple glasses of wine, but dude, not drinking like that, dude.
Yeah, I'm about to drink another glass of wine, and just end this.
It's not worth it, man. It's not worth it. The next morning, I've never been hungover during the day like that. Same day I've been drinking. It's normally the next day where I'm suffering, dude. I just need to be in a cold, dark room. With a lot of Tylenol and cold Coca-Cola.
I remember the first time I was hungover in my life, and it was with Hassan. And I just broken up with my girlfriend from high school, Bethany. Remember Bethany?
And you were hungover at that time?
No, so I broke up with her. Something happened.
Oh, she broke up with you.
She broke up with me.
That's why you're hungover.
Anyways, no quería. No se dejaba. Anyways, I
couldn't penetrate.
Anyways, I was like, Hassan, because he had a Beanie, which Beanie used to work at the L House and give whatever. So I was like, I want to get fucked up. I want to do it all. I want to smoke weed. I want to drink. I want to do it all. and I was like, so we go out there, dude.
Early 20s.
And I drank. And at the time, bro, I barely ever, dude. I never drank. I never did. And then we go out there and we have Crown and Coke. I remember trying to order Crown and Coke because that's what Hassan was doing. So it seemed like the right idea. So I'm drinking. I drank a bunch of Crown. Then we go to his cousin's house, the Detach.
Oh yeah.
Bro, and it was just so much weed, and I've never smoked weed before, and I'm just smoking, and I remember coughing, I had emphysema, dude, I couldn't breathe, bro. And then, I don't even know if I was so drunk.
You got home?
He drove, but I don't even think I felt the effects of marijuana because of the amount of alcohol I drank.
Right.
And I go to Hassan's house, so it's a whole different thing, like a Middle Eastern family. And he puts me in downstairs, and I sleep there. And the next day, the worst feeling of my life, dude. And they all know, and they're all trying to help me. His mom, his dad, they're like, "Here, eat some fruit. You're fine." And I can't even and then this weird guy that I never met before, this other military, he just came to visit, and he took me home. And I don't know, it was I don't know, I never knew who he was. I gotta ask my son who that was, but
that's funny,
dude. I hated that feeling. That's the worst. But yeah, fuck that.
The first time I think I've been hungover like that, I don't know, I was probably 18 years old. And I remember we were drinking in New York with my cousin and went to his friend's house. We were going to sleep over at his house. And he was a Russian guy. And these people had money. They were loaded. This in Connecticut. And we're drinking vodka. Okay? And Russians drink vodka.
No shit.
So he's drinking and he's like, we're drinking and we're drinking. And I remember just going like this, dude. I remember I just going like this, putting my fists together, and they felt like rubber. They didn't feel like your bones. They just felt rubber. You didn't really feel it. And I was like, dude, I remember we just got drunk. And then I remember I threw up. And this guy's the other Russian guy's I told you, man, Russians drink vodka. Hispanics drink tequila. Mexicans drink tequila. Russians drink vodka.
You're drinking the wrong shit,
Dude.
motherfucker.
Oh my gosh, dude, I was so sick. The next day,
But bitch, I'm not Mexican.
I'm like, I am Mexican, dude. I hate tequila too. The next day, I was so freaking hurt, dude. I was so hurt. I remember I was looking for Coke or Sprite, something that just made me burp. Because I did not want... His mom made, like, chicken noodle soup or something. I couldn't eat anything, man. It was horrible. And especially when you're not at your own house, it's like, it makes it even worse.
That's the worst.
You can be hungover in your house. It's very, very bad. But when you're at somebody else's house, it's like 10 times worse.
Yeah, no, it's not worth it. Have you been hungover, Elias?
No, that I remember having a headache next day.
Oof.
No, then you
Like,
lucky
remember that first time I drank, it was like with you at the Linkin Park concert. That I was throwing up on the grass.
You threw up on the grass.
I was like drunk there.
That was
right?
the worst.
But I wasn't hangover. But the hangover is the next day.
Yeah.
But I don't remember feeling bad the next day.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, when you throw up, it's actually a blessing, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Dude,
best
yeah,
thing that can happen is...
I'm a pro throw up kind of guy.
Let's get
throw
very,
up
very drunk and then
let
you're
it
like,
out. No, let it all out. Get all that shit out of your system as much
and then
as
you
you
don't
can.
feel good. Yeah, you feel
Dude,
good.
the crazy part is,
Yeah.
like, I know you've showered and you've thrown up and you're just like, fuck, just a mess. And you think you're going to throw up and it's all going to go back. But the problem is it's already too late. That alcohol is in your system. That poison is in your system.
Yeah.
You're freaking
The worst.
done.
Once I was drinking enough, one of the worst things that could happen is I fell asleep. I didn't throw up. I was just like, fuck. Because I would, like, there was times that I would, like, put my finger down my throat.
Make
to puke.
yourself throw up. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, it was so much easier to deal with, bro. It's so much easier to deal with than, like, fucking, like, oh, shit, I fell asleep. Oh, no. Oh, this is going to be bad, bro. This is going to be bad. And it's just not. It is, I don't know.
And unfortunately, like, the only thing that takes it away is time.
Yeah.
You have to let it run its course. That's it.
Or a dick in the ass. What?
I don't know how that helps with your hangover. Anyways,
Try
we'll talk
it out.
about that on the next podcast, man.
On the next podcast, I'll show the dick in the ass technique.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, guys.
It's been a pleasure.
This is smart, stupid stuff. Make sure you tell your priest about us.
Oh, no. Don't.